Hi guys, welcome to Live Tutelage. In this session, we'll be discussing of something called Java inheritance. Java inheritance. So what is the concept called inheritance? We'll see now. So deriving a class from other class is called inheritance. So if you have a class and you are trying to derive it from that class, which is nothing but inheritance. Okay, so here is an example for that. Say for example, if I have a class called class A and I have the members of the class as some student number and age, and I have a class called class B, and here I have something called student name. Now this is my main class. You just forget about this. Now I want to make use of even the student number and age in this class, which is class B, right? So whatever I have declared here, all the data variables, I want to use it even in class B. So if I want to use it, I cannot use it directly. I cannot take student number here directly and I cannot use it. Or I cannot even create any objects also. So in class B, I cannot take student number just like that, and I cannot take student age also just like that. Okay. So which is not possible, you will get an error. So I cannot even create an object for this in the class. So objects can be created only in main, but not in the class. Now what is the solution for this is our inheritance. Now what I will do is, I will change my class B, declaration of class B syntax by using a keyword called extend. What is this keyword called? Extend. Extends, when I use extends means the class is derived from the other class. That means if I have a class and I want to derive it, a class called B from A, then I have to use called extend. Right? That means class B is derived from class A. The syntax for this is the child class. So the class which we have derived, we call that as a child class. The class from which we have derived is called a parent class. So child class extends parent class name. So this is the syntax for declaring a class as an inheritance property. Now here I have changed the syntax of class B like this. So you can change the syntax of class B. So public static void main void. So you can just use your public static and say void. And now you are going to define, or you are going to declare a class called class B, which is a child class, and this should be extend. You have to use a keyword called what? Extends. This is extends. From where? Class A. Just mention only the class name, but don't add the keyword class. So that means this syntax is now changed like this. That means I can happily use the student number here. I will not get any error. I can use even the age. I will not get any error. Okay, this is about inheritance. But here if you observe, the class B consists the other property, which is a string, student name. That means I can derive a class from a parent class, which is a child class. So the child class can consist all the variables and data members of parent class, plus it can have its own members of methods or data variables. Okay, this is about the inheritance. Now here we can observe three things. One is, I can define a class, I can derive a class from one base class. This is a normal inheritance. And I can even derive another class, which is class C, from class B. So this kind of inheritance we call as multi-level inheritance. See, I have multi-levels. Class B is derived from A and class C is derived from B. Okay, but I cannot access indirectly the class A into C. Okay, I can only access the variables from class B. Okay, so I cannot have the associate property, like if A equal to B and B equal to C and A equal to C. I cannot use that property here. Okay. Now here we have one more type of property, one more kind of inheritance, which is, so I can derive a class from a base class, and I can derive a class like this, and I can even derive a class like this. I can have one parent class, I can have multiple child class. This is called multiple inheritance. This is called multiple inheritance. This is called multi-level inheritance. Okay, I can even have two base classes like this, A and then B, and I can derive a child class C by taking the properties of A as well as B. This is something called interference. This we will discuss in the later part. Okay, but for this you just have to use only the extend keyword. Okay, now we will see the example for our inheritance. Now this is my Java class, and here if you observe, I have created one parent class. So this is the parent class. So I have declared two variables, A which is 10, B which is 20. But if you observe here, I have used two words, which is, what is this? Protected. Protected. That means this words I have already discussed when we are discussing of access modifiers. Protected means I can use these two variables in my subclass or in my child class, which is derived from the parent class. I cannot use this in the other classes. That is why I am using the protected keyword. Now, I have created one more class, which is child class. So, as per the syntax of the inheritance, so class, child class, extends parent class. Child class is this one, which is extends from the parent's class. That means this is derived from a parent class. That means indirectly I can say that I can use these values into this class. So I have defined one more variable, which is C, and I have a function called display, and I am just returning A to B plus C. See here, if you observe, A and B are unknown to this class, right? Which is not declared, but you are not getting, it is not displayed, it is an unknown. Why? Because it is extends from the parent class. So I can use indirectly these two values, two variables, I can use it here. Now this is my main class. This is the main class where you have public static main method. Now I have created an object for my child class. This is the child class. Child class name is child class, and I have created an object called child class CC is equal to new child class. Now I am just trying to call this function display, right? How do I call? With the help of the object of this class. So I am just calling cc.display, and whatever the value that you have given here, you are just returning to the function. That is the use of the return, and the type of the return is integer. So here I am just storing the value in an integer type. The variable is sum, and here I have displayed the sum. Right, now let us see how and what happens when I run this. Now you can observe, which is 205. So how it happens? So from the main class, first its execution starts from the main class. It creates an object for the child class, and child class is calling a function called display. So immediately it goes to the child class display function. Here you are returning A into B plus C. Of course the C value it has taken from here, but A and B is unknown here. So immediately it checks whether this is a inherited class or not. Yes, because of the extend keyword, it is inherited parents class. From here, it automatically goes to the parent class, and it reads A value and B value, come back to this class, and it does the calculations and returns the value into the main. So that is how you are getting the value as 205. The function is A into B, which is 10 into 20, which is 200, plus C. C value is 5. That's why the output is 205. Now let us observe one more thing here. I have something called test class. Now let me try to access the variables of A, B, which is protected here. Okay. Now if I say something like A, or if I say something like system.out.println of A, so you will get an error immediately here. So this red color mark will show you this is an error. Or if you want to create an object for a parent class, and if you want to try to access it, say for example parent class. So the object is PC, which is equal to new parent class. Right? Now even here, if I say PC dot, see, the variable is not displaying here, right? But here in the child class, you can get the variables directly as A and B. Even in the main class of this class, because you have created an object for CC. So if I say CC dot, see, I could able to find A, B as well as C. Why I have created only the object for the child class, but I could able to see A and B because this class is derived from the parent class. But here, if I am trying to calculate, or if I am trying to get the value of my directly the parent class values, which is not possible here. The reason is you have used the keyword protected. Protected means I can only use these values in the child class. Whenever the Java compiler, Java machine finds extends keyword, then only I can use these two values in this class. I cannot use any values here. Okay. So that is the main use of the protected keyword access modifier, which we have discussed in the previous session. So this is about our Java inheritance. Thank you.